Welcome everyone to the University of Oregon and back to the University of Oregon for our distinguished alumni guests, Aziz Al-Suhaimi and Fawzi Al-Qadi. It is a great honor to see you here. I've had the pleasure of traveling to Saudi Arabia a number of times to represent the University of Oregon, and I am always deeply humbled and grateful for the warm hospitality that your country demonstrates in the connection between the kingdom and the University of Oregon. And that warm hospitality for me is personified by Aziz Al-Suhaimi and Fawzi Al-Qadi, who have been amazing hosts for myself and for many others who traveled to the University of Oregon, to Saudi Arabia from the University of Oregon. So thank you both for coming back, and we hope that this is the beginning of a long and steady tradition of reuniting many of our Saudi Arabian connections, many of our GCC connections, right here on the University of Oregon campus. So thank you, Katie Jo Walter. Katie Jo Walter deserves a round of applause too, because she put this whole thing together. And without her and Umayma Al-Yusuf, Umayma in the back, one of our current students, and Marius D. Leiter next to Umayma, there would be no such event. So thank you all. As Katie Jo said, my name is Dennis Galvan. I'm the Dean and Vice Provost for Global Engagement here. I'm also a professor of political science. I've been at the University of Oregon for about 18 years. It is really an honor for me, a high honor, to lead our campus's efforts in global engagement. This is a university that is strong in engaging the world. We send about 25% of all of our students have an education abroad experience outside the United States, whether that's studying at another university, traveling with a faculty member, or doing an internship. And just to give you some context, the best public universities in the United States, in the American Association of Universities, 32 best universities on average, send 23% of their students on study abroad. We're at 25%. So I am very proud of this university's students and faculty for their commitment to knowing the world, to connecting to the world, and to building those relationships, one form of face-to-face human contact, one relationship at a time. And none of that would ever be possible were it not for you, were it not for our own international students, international visitors, like those of you who are here on the Khbrat program, hosted by the American English Institute, led by Cheryl Ernst. So those of you who are here on Khbrat, a round of applause to you for coming here for specialized training, educational training, teacher training, to help build the bridge between Oregon and Saudi Arabia in forming the next generation of students. We're delighted that you are here. Thank you. So none of this would be possible without the human connections that our international visitors, our current students, and our alumni make possible, because what you do is you bring to Oregonians, and you bring to Americans, you bring to these 24,000 students wandering around the campus today, you bring the world. You bring Islam, you bring the Middle East, you bring Saudi Arabia, you bring person-to-person connection, empathy, compassion, understanding. There is so much that we face out in the world and even in universities that divides us. The information and disinformation that's flowing about other cultures, other religions, other regions, sometimes is astonishing and really quite embarrassing for those of us who are from the United States. And the only antidote to that kind of misinformation and fear is human contact, is getting to know someone from another place, understanding that she or he is your brother or sister who shares the same interests in education, who shares the same love of family, who might even like a crazy sport like American football that the Dutch play, that we can all come together around so much if we just take the trouble to shake hands, to say hello, to say marhaba, to say kayf al-hal, to say it with a bad accent, as I do, to just connect. And that is absolutely impossible without international students, without international visitors, and actually, very critically, without folks who were here decades ago, who continue to make a personal, from the heart, investment in the well-being of today's University of Oregon and today's Oregon-Saudi connection. So I just want to highlight that Fawzi Al-Qadi has been a champion of all of our global engagement efforts, partnering and thinking through how to build new kinds of programs for students and in helping to support many of those programs. And Aziz Al-Suhaimi has made an enormous mark on the life of students at the University of Oregon. Those of you who are here today don't know, I think, that 5 or 6 years ago, if you were a Muslim student on this campus or any student looking for a place to exercise devotion, to quietly pray, to contemplate, you had to find little spaces anywhere. Sometimes people would be in a space like that foyer, that lobby out there, putting down their prayer mats. It was really crazy, and it was not very welcoming. And as we redesigned the central gathering place for students on this campus, the EMU, the Student Union, Aziz Al-Suhaimi stepped up and said, what can I do to be a partner in this? And we showed him the dilemma for Muslim students and for students of many backgrounds looking for a place to pray or to contemplate. And he said, I want to be a part of that, and he contributed significantly to making that a much better space, where now students of all backgrounds are welcome, and there's proper foot washing for many of them. So thank you. And I'll just say, it doesn't end there. Just one more example, Aziz's brother, Khalid Al-Suhaimi, also a graduate of this university, and his wife, Jane Goodwin, have donated to support study abroad scholarships for our own students to go to the Middle East. And we have sent many dozens of students now on Arabic language programs, on programs that study history and culture in the region. That's how we build face-to-face, person-to-person global engagement that can make a difference in the kind of education any student gets here and turn those students into empathetic people who have good cross-cultural understanding. With that cross-cultural understanding, they're better employees, they're better graduates, they're better ducks, and they will contribute in the next generation to a much better world, thanks to the connection that Aziz and Fawzi and our students and our international visitors, all of you are helping build. So I am so grateful that you're here. I'm delighted that you're participating in this kind of connection. I want you to know that as we knit together stronger bonds between our two societies, you are the threads. You are strong threads, and the fact that you're together makes this weave much, much more effective in holding us all together as one common family of people who love the University of Oregon and people who love the connection to the Middle East. So with that, in addition to saying thank you, I see that my colleague, Vice President Mike Andreessen, has walked in the room, and I'm going to embarrass him and ask him to come up to the podium and say a couple of words. Mike Andreessen is the Vice President for Advancement. He worries about making the University of Oregon a better place and finding the resources to do that. He's also a committed globalist. He probably is the most committed person on this campus to international engagement, more so than myself, due to a lot of deep personal history that I won't share, but he is a leader on this campus, and behind the scenes, the reason why we're having this kind of event is because we have the support of people like Mike. So, thank you.
So I will just say 2 words, which is welcome, and thank you so much for being here. I've really had the honor and the pleasure to be in Saudi Arabia twice now in the last 2 years, meeting with our alumni, working with Dennis and John Minotti, and I'm just delighted to see the affection and the respect and the love of our ducks in that region. Thank you for coming back. It's a long way to go. I now know that better than I did before, but it's so important for our campus, our students, our faculty, our staff, to feel that global connection and to build those lifelong relationships as Dennis has talked about. So I'm delighted you're here. I hope you'll have a wonderful day. We'll see you at football and other kinds of things over the next couple of days. But we also look forward to being back with all of you back in the Gulf region and Saudi in particular, because we are committed to that long-term relationship. Those are my comments. Thank you so much. Really honored to have you.